Kumusta na kayo, grade 4 learners? Tayo pa rin ay nasa quarter 3 at module 4, relating triangles to quadrilaterals and relating one quadrilateral to another quadrilateral. And this is lesson 2, relating one quadrilateral to another quadrilateral. Muli, samahan niyo ako sa ating araling ito. Hello learners! How much do you remember about triangles and quadrilaterals? In this lesson, you will learn the relationship between triangles and quadrilaterals. Triangles and quadrilaterals as polygons can be classified according to their sides and angles. Understanding their properties can help you solve problems involving these types of polygons. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to relate one quadrilateral to another quadrilateral. In the previous lesson, you learned how triangles are related to quadrilaterals. In this lesson, you will understand how one quadrilateral is related to another quadrilateral. Read the story problem, then answer the questions below. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. Mrs. Reyes assigned the grade 4 class in math to find out how quadrilaterals are related to one another. So, she grouped the class into two. The first group was assigned to prepare cutouts of different quadrilaterals like square, rhombus, parallelogram, rectangle, and trapezoid. The other group was assigned to enumerate its similarities and differences by writing down the different properties of each quadrilateral. As the group finished working cooperatively and collaboratively, they found all the characteristics of quadrilaterals and relate its figure to one another. They found out that both square and rhombus has 4 equal sides, but a square has 4 right angles while rhombus has no right angles. First question, what are the different quadrilaterals given in the story problem? In what way is a rhombus similar to square? In what way it is different? Number 3, in what way is a square like a rectangle? In what way is it different from rectangle? Let us read some information on how a quadrilateral is related to another quadrilateral. Plane figures with 4 sides are called quadrilaterals. Figure lab is a quadrilateral. Here are the properties of quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral has 4 line segments. The line segment is a line formed by connecting 2 consecutive vertices. A line written at the top of 2 letters denotes a line segment. Quadrilateral lab contains line segment LO, line segment OB, line segment VE, and line segment LE. It has 4 vertices. Vertices are presented with an uppercase letter of the corresponding vertex or endpoint. Quadrilateral lab contains vertices which are L, O, V, and E. It has 4 angles. An angle is a figure formed by 2 consecutive sides with a common vertex. Quadrilateral lab contains angle L, angle O, angle V, and angle E. It has two pairs of opposite sides. Quadrilateral lab contains line segment LO and line segment EV, which are opposite sides, and line segment LE and line segment OV, which are also opposite. It has adjacent sides. Adjacent sides are two lines that meet at a common endpoint or vertex. They can also be considered consecutive sides. In quadrilateral lab, line segment LO and line segment LE have a common vertex L. So, line segment LO and line segment LE are adjacent sides. Line segment OL and line segment OV are also adjacent sides. If exactly one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is parallel, it is a trapezoid. The line that at some point never intersect or does not meet is called parallel lines. In quadrilateral part, sides line segment PA and line segment RT do not intersect. That means that line segment PA and line segment RT are parallel. Therefore, figure part is a trapezoid. If the two non-parallel sides of a trapezoid are congruent, it is called an isosceles trapezoid. In geometry, two figures or objects are congruent if and only if they have the same or equal measurement. In trapezoid plan, the non-parallel sides, line segment PN and line segment LA are the same or congruent. So quadrilateral plan is an isosceles trapezoid. If two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, it is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, if the parallel sides have the same measure or equal, they are considered as congruent. In quadrilateral care, line segment CA is parallel to line segment ER, and line segment CE is parallel to line segment AR. So, quadrilateral care is a parallelogram. If the angles of a parallelogram are right angles, the parallelogram is a rectangle. In parallelogram rule, line segment RO is parallel to line segment LE, and line segment RE is parallel to line segment OL. Angle R, angle O, angle L, and angle E are right angles. Thus, parallelogram rule is a rectangle. All the angles in a rectangle are congruent. In addition, the parallel sides are congruent. Line segment RO has the same measure or congruent to line segment LE, and line segment RE the same measure to line segment OL. Also, all adjacent sides are perpendicular. Line segment RO is perpendicular to line segment OL. Line segment RO is perpendicular to line segment RE. Line segment LE is perpendicular to line segment OL. Line segment LE is perpendicular to line segment RE. When all lines thus intersect and form a right angle, it is called perpendicular. We use the symbol for perpendicular. A square is a rectangle with all sides are the same or congruent. Figure shape is a rectangle with four congruent sides. Line segment SA has the same measure or congruent to line segment AF. Line segment AF has the same measure to line segment FE. And line segment FE has the same measure to line segment ES. Angle S, angle A, angle F, and angle E all measure 90 degrees or right angles. Thus, it is a square. If all the sides of a parallelogram are congruent, it is a rhombus. See figure take. It is a rhombus because the opposite sides are congruent and all sides are parallel. In a rhombus, the four angles need not to be congruent or the same. If the angles in a rhombus are all right angles, then the rhombus is a square. In rhombus just, angle J, angle U, angle S, angle T are right angles measure 90 degrees. Hence, it is also a square. A square may also be defined as a rhombus in which all angles are right angles. Based on the given properties, determine what kind of quadrilateral is presented. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. Number 1. If line segment CO is parallel to line segment ST, and line segment CS is parallel to line segment OT, quadrilateral cos is a parallelogram. If line segment EA and line segment BR are parallel, quadrilateral bear is a blank. If line segment HE is congruent to line segment RA, line segment HE is congruent to line segment RA. Quadrilateral here is a blank. If line segment DU is parallel to line segment EK and line segment DE is congruent to line segment UK, quadrilateral duct is a blank. If angle G, angle A, angle V, and angle E are right angles, quadrilateral gave is a rectangle. Copy the table on a sheet of paper and put a check in the table if the shape corresponds to the given property. Number 1. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and square. Number 2, diagonals are perpendicular. Number 3, exactly one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Number 4, diagonals intersect one another. Number 5, both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. Parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and square. Read each statement below and fill in the blank with the correct answer inside the box. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. A quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. When all the angles are right angles, the parallelogram is a rectangle. When all the sides are congruent, the parallelogram is a blank. When exactly blank pair of opposite sides are parallel, it is a trapezoid. When all sides have the same measure or congruent, and all angles are right angles, the parallelogram is a square. Thus, A blank is both a rhombus and a rectangle. When two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, it is a parallelogram. Find all the quadrilaterals which best fit in the given property. Choose your answer inside the box. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. Number 1. Exactly one pair of opposite sides parallel. 2. Both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. In any order. 3. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Number 4. Both pairs of opposite angles are parallel. Answer the following questions. Write yes if the statement is correct and no if it is not. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. 1. Is a rhombus a square? Yes. 2. Is a square a rectangle? 3. Is a rectangle a parallelogram? 4. Is a parallelogram a rectangle? 5. Is a trapezoid a parallelogram? No. Why? It has only one pair of opposite sides. Answer the following questions. Write a check if your answer is yes and cross if it is no. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. Number 1. Is any three-sided polygon a triangle? 2. Is any four-sided polygon a quadrilateral? 3. Can a quadrilateral be divided into two triangles? 4. Do all triangles have 3 equal sides and 3 angles? 5. Do all quadrilaterals have 4 sides and 4 angles? Write the letter of the correct answers on a sheet of paper. Number 6. What is the truth about squares and rectangles? 1. All sides are congruent. 2. All angles are congruent. 3. Adjacent sides have common vertex. A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 2 and 3 only. D. 1, 2, and 3. Number 7. Which statement proves that a quadrilateral is a rhombus? A. There is no line of symmetry. B. All 4 sides are congruent. C. The diagonals bisect each other. D. The diagonals are perpendicular. A. Which statement about quadrilateral is true? A. All rectangles are always squares. B. All trapezoids are always rhombuses. C. All rectangles are always rhombuses. D. All rectangles are always parallelogram. 9. All quadrilaterals are parallelogram. A. True. B. False. C. Maybe. D. Sometimes. Number 10. Look at the figure. Rectangular rays is a special kind of parallelogram because A. Its diagonals are congruent in length. B. All of its angles are 90 degrees in measure. C. It has all the properties of a parallelogram. D. All of the above. Maraming salamat muli sa pagsama nyo sa atin sa ating video. Kung nagustuhan nyo ang ating video, please like and subscribe at pindutin na rin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga bago pang darating na videos. Pwede kayo mag-comment at syempre, please share this to your classmates. Hanggang sa muli, paalam!